Introduction into prepping. That's a pretty big topic that we're going to talk about today. So does it mean that you need to go out right now after this video is over, and does it mean you need to buy all the canned goods and toiletry products and paper, towels and toilet paper and guns and ammo and frozen food and freeze-dried food and all that stuff? No, it doesn't mean that you need to do that. But what it does mean is maybe after this video, it'll get you guys thinking about maybe you should be putting some things back. Maybe you should be storing some stuff in the back closet, cleaning out that closet, putting some stuff in there. Maybe it means that you should be buying your first firearm and maybe putting some ammo away, or expanding upon that and buying some more ammo for the firearm that you do have. Maybe it means that you need to look into freeze-dried food. Maybe it means that I should be putting some more water away. Maybe it means I need to be starting a garden. We got some cool video clips I think you guys are going to like that we've kind of thrown together, and just trying to give you some ideas to get started into prepping and preparedness. So what got me thinking about putting this video together is what we're facing right now, the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. Yes, it is a pandemic. It's worldwide right now. It started in Wuhan, China back in December of last year, and it has grown and expanded, and now it is in the U.S., as I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with. We live here in Washington State, and we actually live about an hour and a half away from patient zero in the United States. So me, I'm kind of a natural germaphobe, I'm a little OCD, so that caught my attention, very much so. So when I saw that, I started paying more attention, and then weeks went by, and now we're where we're at now. I think Washington State is around the third state that's being hit the hardest: New York, California, and then possibly Washington State. So I'm not going to get too big into the coronavirus or COVID-19. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with it. What I'm trying to do is just get you guys to think about preparedness, putting things away, prepping, and getting you guys in that mindset. We have some pretty cool stuff, I think, to show you, and hopefully it'll give you guys some ideas to start putting some things away, thinking about preparedness, and being ready for when things happen. Stick with us. You know, when it comes to food, guys, a lot of it is personal preference. Buy stuff that lasts a long time. Buy stuff that's non-perishable for putting away. You know, just typical things like soup mixes. This is a black bean soup mix. This is a 16 bean soup mix, 15 bean soup mix. A lot of this stuff, guys, boil it up, add some stuff, add some meat, add some ham. You have a good stockpile of soups there. This has a long shelf life. Macaroni and cheese, guys, some good comfort food. Soups have a long shelf life as well beyond what the can date is, the expiration date. We have tons of canned soup on hand, guys. Tuna's another one. When it comes to like freeze-dried meals, I personally prefer Mountain House. Mountain House stuff is great, guys. All you got to do is add hot water. Look at this thing, man. This has, I don't know, what's it going to say? Best by August 2048. So this stuff, guys, has a ridiculously long shelf life. You can buy it by the individual pouches like this, or you could save a little bit of money and you can buy it by the case. They come in these just-in-case totes here. MREs are another personal favorite, guys. You can get these offline. You can get them locally. Meals ready to eat. You can tear this open, guys, and eat it. There's no cooking or preparation required. Granted, this does have a little heater in there. You put the main entree in there, add a little water, and it will heat your meal up. Great thing, guys. They have about a 5-year shelf life. They'll generally last a little bit longer depending on the temperature and the situation wherever they're at. This is called a First Strike ration. This is actually, it's made by the same company that makes MREs. This is actually a 24-hour ration. So all vacuum sealed, guys. Again, it all comes down to a lot of personal preference. We have a lot of stuff frozen in our freezer, a lot of meats, a lot of, we have stuff canned. So we have a lot of that stuff, but this is all extra stuff, guys. We do make soups, homemade soups once in a while, but having this stuff, guys, on hand, having it tucked away, it has a long shelf life, and it's great survival food. But then again, a lot of this stuff tastes good. I eat MREs once in a while just for fun because I like them. They have about a million different menus of this Mountain House stuff, guys, so it's a lot of personal preference. When it comes to soups, I generally buy the light stuff because it has a lot less sodium and a lot less calories. I actually enjoy canned soup. My wife doesn't really, but I wouldn't like to survive on this because even the low sodium stuff, guys, does have a lot of sodium in there. So, you know, mix a lot of that stuff with, don't eat a lot of this in one setting, if that makes sense, guys. Mix up your variety a little bit. Also, make sure that you have spices on hand if you're making this stuff, guys. Another thing is, like, just plain rice. make sure you add spices to this, because a lot of people think, oh, I'll just eat beans and rice and I'll survive forever. Well, you're going to get tired of that. I don't care how hungry you are, you're going to get tired of that. So being able to add a little bit of meat and spices to this, a little bit of meat and spice to the macaroni and cheese, the soup, whatever, make sure that you add some variety to it, guys. Making sure you have MREs set aside, guys. We have MREs out here in the shop. Each case contains 12. These are fresh cases. They're all sealed. They're in a cool environment. So I just have these tucked away and we forget about them. But they're up here in case we need to dip into a reserve supply of food. MREs are cheap. They have a long shelf life. I find them locally here in Washington. We live next to a military base, so I find them locally on places like OfferUp and Craigslist and Marketplace. So having those set aside, guys, is just great because you can rip them open and you can eat them. There's no cooking required. Definitely a great thing to have in your prep. Guys, making sure that you have fresh water on hand is also very important. This is just rainwater that's run off from our gutters. Making sure you have a rain barrel set up where you can capture this stuff. Now, granted, this is fresh water, but it hasn't been filtered, so we could use this stuff for our garden, or we could filter it and we could use it for drinking water for ourselves and for our dogs, or we could use it for bathing if needed. So we have plenty of bottled water stored up, but making sure that you have, maybe some sort of extra water put aside via rain barrel or gallons of jug, something like that. Guys, the coronavirus isn't really something that dictates having a lot of water on hand, but being prepared and having lots of bottles of water is good. Each one of these cases has 32 bottles of water in there. Just having them, this is just up upstairs in our shop. It's a reserve supply. We don't dip into this. This is all extra stuff. Having water on hand if you have to stay home, if you are quarantined, it's just a good thing to have, guys. Always have water on hand. But of course, the most important thing, having a great pantry on hand full of your good beer. That's definitely SHTF if you run out of that. Guys, having a reserve supply of cleaning stuff is definitely good. This is just in a Sterilite bin that we have upstairs in the loft in my shop. Having 4 containers of bleach, some extra hand soap, some hand sanitizing wipes, extra laundry detergent, dish soap, some scrubby pads, some sponges. This is just extra stuff, guys. Probably going to be tossing in some disinfecting wipes and some rubber gloves here too. I just realized that I don't have that stuff in here, so I'm going to toss some of that stuff in. And this is just extra stuff. This isn't stuff we use on a daily basis. Just stuff that we have upstairs and tucked away. Stuff we don't even think about, but it's there if we need it. Power is still currently on, but that could change. So having plenty of gas on hand, I always keep 30 plus gallons of fresh ethanol-free gas on hand for our generator, as well as mixed gas and stuff for chainsaws and small tools. So always making sure that you have gas on hand if you have a generator and small tools is very important, or having it for your car. I keep my truck's gas tank at a half tank at a minimum, and always keep it at a half or above. Don't ever let it get below half. So I do have 30 gallons of gas on hand ready in the event that gas stations run short and I still need gas for my truck. Just having your regular tools and power tools on hand in case you guys need to fix something. We're stuck at home. If things break, make sure that you have all the tools and supplies needed that you can take care of anything around your house. And if you guys rely on wood heat, make sure that you guys have plenty of split and seasoned firewood on hand. We have electric heat and have a wood stove insert in our house. And during the wintertime, we do burn a lot of wood. So making sure that you guys have a lot of that stuff on hand and split and ready to burn is very important. This all was stacked actually nice and high in multiple rows. Then it fell over because it got a little bit of a lean to it. So that's another project to start fixing that. Another important thing to do, guys, is to get some sort of a garden started, whether it's just a small garden or a big garden or multiple gardens. Figuring out where to put that in your yard based on where the sun is, and then deciding what to grow for certain times of the year. So this is our U-shaped garden that actually my wife, Mrs. Guns, Gears, and Beer, is over there shoveling soil right now. Actually made last year. And we had, oh boy, let's see what we had. We had lettuce and cabbage up here, broccoli, pumpkins were right here, watermelon, which actually didn't really turn out. We had cucumbers, corn, which we need to get better at doing corn too. That didn't work. Green onions, zucchini here in the Northwest is just, oh my God, we have zucchini bread for days. And then we've done strawberries and tomatoes and carrots. Carrots, we learned that we need to plant them deeper. But making sure, guys, just to have food that you're starting to grow and you can rely on your own self. You know where it came from. You know how it was planted. You know that you've watered it and taking care of that and taking pride in that. Another important thing, guys, is chickens. We actually raise them for the eggs. They're a very important thing to have around the house. Here's Mrs. Guns, Gears, and Beers going in. And let's see. Hey, we got an egg.
Woohoo!
That will probably be in my wife's brownie mix that we're going to make later on tonight. So, guys, having chickens around, they're dirt cheap to raise.
Hi, this is Shake and Bake. She is the lovely deliverer of that nice brown egg that you saw a moment ago. And I have been asked to show you how we started off with chickens, because I grew up in a city and I did not grow up with chickens. It was something I learned, and it's something you can learn too. First of all, we started with a coop. This one we inherited, and this one we bought. We combined the two. They're temporary structures for now, but there are a lot of advantages of both. This one gives it a lot of room, has some natural elements. This one here is completely waterproof and gives them a nice warm place to sleep and a nice place to hang their food and water and keep it dry, and gives them exercise. So one of the first things you have to get is you need to have the right food. So you need to buy chicken food. You can get pellets for this. I forget what this is called. And then you need to get some chick grit, which is basically like little rocks, so that they can digest their food. They have, I believe it's called a gizzard, and they need that rock to actually churn their food. So you have to give it to them. If they free range, they might find small enough pebbles to eat, and that's fine. But definitely just make sure that you have it available so that they can eat some, and they'll just take what they need. We got them some corn, which you can get at the feed store, or if you grow corn, you can dry in a dryer. Okay, she's getting antsy. Bye-bye. So this is a bit of a treat. It's also a really nutrient for them. Something else that's a good nutrient is some sort of calcium. So this is oyster shell. You can also crush up eggshells and feed it back to them. It helps give the hens enough calcium to lay their eggs. And finally, mealworms, dried mealworms. You can get these. They're a really nice treat. I usually throw them on the ground in the coop so that they have some of that fun adventure of finding something to eat, kind of like they're free ranging. So everything else I put into a container. And I apologize for how dirty it is. Spring cleaning is coming soon. Thanks for listening, and let us know if you have questions. All right, these are my baby tomato plants, which I might have put out too early, but we're gonna try it out. Because we live in the Pacific Northwest, it's a little bit cold right now, so they're in cloches, which you don't have to buy from a fancy supply store. You can easily just get a jar from Goodwill. Anything will work. Or even better, you can repurpose your old milk jugs by cutting the bottom off. So I really enjoy this new water that I got from the Wish app. Is the best deal that I could find. You can adjust how much water drips out of this, and it actually works. You just take a Coca-Cola bottle and you screw that right on. And in this case, it actually fits into the cloche, so it will automatically water while keeping it warmer. And I don't have to worry about the rain coming in at this time. So as you can see, they don't look super great. They might be frostbitten, but it's my first year trying to grow tomatoes from seed, so I'm learning as I go. All right, these are our new blueberry bushes that we just planted late last fall. We have 3 different varieties, and they bloom kind of intermittently, so they'll pollinate each other, but we'll get blueberries over an extended period of time. We built a nice little, I guess you could say, a protective box. It was really cheap. We just used PVC pipe and connectors, and I tied netting onto it so that it was nice and taut. And this way, the blueberry bush has plenty of room to grow over the next few years, but the chickens, who think that those buds are food, they think they're aphids or something, and the birds as well won't come and eat the blueberries or the buds. So I will by the time summer starts, have 3 of these boxes. They're light and easy to maneuver, so I can access the bush when I want to. And I really recommend using something like this for your new fruit trees or bushes.
And speaking of fruit trees, guys, I actually forgot to mention this earlier. We planted a couple other trees. This one is a apricot tree. That is a Rainier cherry tree, and then we have a plum and an apple tree back there. Another thing about having chickens and dogs is you end up finding your chickens up on your roof. Getting involved in canning is another really cool thing. My wife and mother-in-law are really big into canning, and they have like a canning party every year. And so we always have fresh applesauce, fresh jams, blackberry jams. We have blackberry bushes. Let's see here, more applesauce. This is actually homemade blackberry vodka. Spaghetti sauce back here, rings for our jars. So guys, learning how to can and preserve food and always having stuff on hand, that is a huge part of your preps. And probably my personal favorite when it comes to prepping is self-defense. So a lot of people, guys, right now are scrambling to buy guns. Lines are out the door to try to buy firearms. Ammo is nowhere to be seen. And a lot of gun stores are staying open, guys, to try to give people a chance to buy guns. So having personal protection, guys, for yourself, for your family, against others, for hunting is very important. So there's 3 main types of firearms that you want to have, guys. Number 1 is a handgun. I have multiple handguns, as you've probably seen in a lot of videos. This is a Glock Polymer 80 build in OD green. It has an O-Light light laser combo on there. Having some sort of handgun, guys, for self-defense. Always have your CCW and personal protection on you and your concealed carry. Have this for self-defense for yourself and for your family, guys. Handgun is definitely a great option. Second option will be a shotgun. A lot of people use shotguns for home defense. It is a great home defense option. It's also a great hunting option. Another one, guys, is some sort of a rifle. And I have quite a few AR-15s here. I have a self-defense AR in my bedroom along with my bedside handgun. I carry a truck gun, as you guys have probably seen in my Get Home Bag video. I have a variety of ARs, guys. I build ARs. They're fun. They're kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. Have firearms, guys, and have them ready. And also make sure that you guys have adequate ammo for your firearms. I have quite a few AR magazines in here as well as Glock mags. I primarily run Glocks for all my handguns. So I have a lot of Glock mags. I have a lot of AR mags. And when it comes to ammo, guys, make sure you have sufficient ammo for all of your firearms. At a minimum, I would say for every long gun that you have, whether it be an AR or an AK, have a minimum of 1,000 rounds per gun, and probably have at least 5 or 6 magazines. That's a minimum per gun, guys. I would also recommend having at least 500 rounds of ammo and 3 or 4 magazines for each handgun. That's each one, guys. Like I just said, ammo is getting to be very hard to find. I would definitely try to make sure that you have the ammo and magazines ready for all of your firearms. I heard a long time ago, and it's something I've kind of actually stuck to, is every payday, go buy some ammo. It's just a good thing, guys. It's something you're always going to have on hand, and it's never going to decrease in value. Stick to getting your personal preps and your magazines and your ammo and your firearms and your food and your water, shelter. Make sure you have all this stuff ready, guys, because you never know when you're going to need it. If it comes to somebody coming to my house to try to take stuff from me because they don't have their supplies needed, I'm going to have something to defend myself and my family. Well, what did you guys think? I hope you guys enjoyed some of what you guys saw, or maybe most of what you guys saw. So there's a lot of stuff that we could expand on and go over. We just basically skim the surface of some stuff that we do around here, and we can expand more on that if you guys are interested in seeing more gardening videos, more gun videos. I'm working on getting more gun videos out. More stuff on water preparedness and filtration. Working on getting some water filtration and gutter systems set up here. So we're doing a lot of stuff. If you're interested in more gardening, checking stuff, whatever, just please comment down below, message me, whatever. Be happy to hear it. We'd like to do more stuff. My wife is getting more interested in this stuff and YouTube, so let us know. We'd be happy to try to do something more. And some stuff maybe we didn't necessarily cover on here, like medical. You guys should have a really good med kit at home at a bare minimum. and have stuff that you guys can treat wounds, sickness, illness, viruses, that kind of stuff. Have acetaminophen, Tylenol, ibuprofen put away. COVID-19 coronavirus that seems to be more, it seems to work better with acetaminophen and not ibuprofen. It seems to respond better to stuff like that. Have a good trauma kit set aside, tourniquet, quick clot, that kind of stuff, trauma shears, bandages, gauze. Have that stuff put aside. I could talk about guns and ammo all day long and what you should have and what you need per person in your house, where you should have it in your household. We could go on along about that all day long, and maybe we will if you're interested in something like that. Food and water, that stuff's imperative, guys. You should have a lot of food and water put away per person, per day. Start thinking about that kind of stuff, guys. Let us know if there's anything else you guys like to see. Again, we basically just skimmed the surface of this stuff, so start thinking about what you guys could do in your home, in your yard, in your environment, what you could do per person to prepare. It's a good thing to do, guys. I won't say it's easy, but I will say that it's something that's easily accomplished. It just takes a little bit of time. Each time you go to the grocery store, maybe buy one extra canned good, put it away, maybe buy a gallon of water, put it up in the closet. Every time you go to the store, buy an extra box of ammo, put it away, don't even think about it. This stuff can be done over time, and it's a good thing to do, guys. It's stuff that it's money in the bank, so to speak. So please like and subscribe, hit that notification icon, hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. We're trying to do more stuff, as I say most of the time in the end of my videos. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please comment down below if there's anything specific that you'd like to see. If you have questions, comments, whatever, we're happy to answer them. Thanks, guys. Take care.